Yo, what is up, YouTube? Hello. I'm yours truly, and today we shall be watching a UK Roadman experience. I got this recommended to me by a wonderful chatter in the Discord. So we shall go ahead and watch this banger video. Let's go!
A plague has entered Britain in the last 15 years or so,
Britain
in the form of grey tracksuits, swords and ballets. This is Roadman culture. Every country seems to have manufactured its own very specific type of person that simultaneously becomes a social problem and a national joke all at the same time. America has frat boys, Australia has those eshays, and France, well, France has bellends.
Damn! France is just getting back shots, dude. What can we do, man?
Britain, however, created something far more fascinating. We created the Roadman. Especially as a human that has somehow become...
I don't even think there's anything specific over here in Germany that I could talk about, dude. I don't know. Like, people that are... I guess in Germany, we have people that are kind of like... acting as if they're in a different kind of religion, even though they're not. Like, they're fully German, but they're still like acting as if they're from another religion, you know? I feel like that's something that can kind of come close to the Roadman, I suppose, maybe? I guess.
So embedded into everyday life that most of us don't even notice it anymore. And
it's become a good
chance you've already adopted.
It's become kind of a meme in Germany, at least. That's all I know. I have nothing against them, by the way, just saying. Like... it's become a bit of a meme in Germany, though, at least from when I was still, you know, in the German school and stuff like that, you know?
Did some of their behavior without realizing it.
So I said to him, "Get in the fucking kitchen now, fam."
For example, you've got a younger cousin from Nottingham that says fam in every third sentence. Or a mate from work who says safe when he's leaving the office.
No, but that's so funny, though. I love saying fam. Hey, fam, are you real? It's kind of funny, though. I don't know. I can understand it being funny.
Somehow even your own mother has started saying that she's got a motive at the weekend. Linda, it's book club. At some point over the last 15 years, Roadman culture stopped being...
Linda, it's book club. Relax, Linda.
Being confined to certain parts of London and quietly seeped into every corner of Britain. And if you're not from the UK, trying to explain what a Roadman actually is can be surprisingly difficult because they don't really fit into one category. They're not exactly a fashion movement. They're not entirely a subculture. And they're certainly not a collective gang, despite what some headlines would have you believe. They're a strange mixture of all of those things at once. Roadmen have become one of Britain's most recognizable social phenomena. And the truth is, it's far more complicated than you think. And to understand where Roadmen came
Dude, nah, it's so funny, man.
From, we actually need to travel back to an era that many British people have tried extremely hard to erase from their noggin. The age of the chav. If you grew up with
the age of the chav, dude, I freaking love it. It's so funny. I don't know why. It's just the goddamn names and everything. It just sounds so funny to me. I don't know why.
In Britain in the early 2000s, you'll remember it vividly.
It's old, ain't it? So it's time to look for a job and that.
You had the white tracksuits and the Burberry caps that became a lower class crowd of sorts. Phone speakers permanently blasting Bass Hunter at a volume that we would have appreciated if it wasn't midday on a high street. Chavs dominated the landscape for years. Every town centre had them. Every bus route had them. And every shopping centre had at least one group sitting on a bench looking deeply offended that you happened to walk past their personal space. The British character Devo encapsulated this perfectly.
Not too fast, like dickhead. That's fucking too fast, dickhead.
Then something
That's fucking too fast, dickhead. I love it, man. Nah, it's so funny. I feel like we have this in Germany too, though. Like these people that are just, you know, they talk funny and they get so offended if you're just in their space. If you're in their personal space, they're already done. They're already done with you. Like, you get a dumb comment immediately.
Began to change. As Britain entered the late 2000s and early 2010s, chav culture slowly started disappearing. The Burberry caps vanished, and London began creating something entirely new.
Oh,
the
God.
Roadman quickly emerged, and unlike the chav, its existence mostly centered around being an unknown delinquent. Day in the life. Let's see if you're really a twat. London in particular became the birthplace of this culture, especially within poorer boroughs where young people often grew up with fewer opportunities and with this strong desire to establish themselves within their communities. Suddenly, fashion, music, and reputation all became interconnected. Being a roadman wasn't just about how you dressed. It became a way of presenting yourself to people who didn't actually give a fuck.
It kind of does look fire, though. I do have to say, dude, especially, the fur coat, the top fur thing, and the coat, it does look kind of cool. I won't lie. The coat's looking kind of fresh. Not gonna lie. I am a fan of the coats. I am a fan of the coats.
Now, this is where we have to get somewhat serious for a moment, because despite how much we love taking the piss out of roadmen, it's important to understand why roadman culture developed in the first place. For a lot of young men, this wasn't something they randomly woke up and chose one morning. I mean, some definitely did.
Facts, I'm there.
Many grew up in deprived neighborhoods around poverty, exposed to violence, and usually just came from broken homes. Most lacked strong male role models and found themselves searching for identity elsewhere. Roadman culture offered
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, with the vibe that they're going with, it does make sense that they're from those kind of neighborhoods where it's just hard to live, right? And there's violence all over the place. So yeah, it does make sense.
That it offered a sense of community status alongside respect and somewhat protection, I guess. Suddenly you weren't just another teenager trying to figure out life anymore. You were a part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, part of a
that
group.
desire to belong, no matter what your upbringing is something that everybody can relate to, even if the end result happens to have you acting and looking like a sausage. But of course, once social media got involved, everything became considerably more ridiculous. What started in London slowly spread throughout the rest of Britain until roadmen somehow started appearing in places that absolutely should not have roadmen. And here's somebody from bloody Harrogate claiming that they're from the ends, despite...
Oh my god, no freaking way, man. Yeah, it's TikTok, bro. It's TikTok musically and all those kinds of things.
Like their nearest threat being a goose on heat. There are most likely teenagers from the Cotswolds talking about surviving life on the road when their daily commute involves walking past a fucking garden centre. Britain essentially exported London culture and nobody really questioned it.
You get girls, I lie.
Yeah, man.
What about you?
Give them back shots, innit?
Nah! You did not just say give him back shots in it! What are you talking about? You're literally 8! You're literally like 8 years old!
Back shots, innit?
I beg your pardon, young man. Everybody simply accepted that this was just normality now. And why the fuck would we question it? London isn't the only place struggling with poverty and crime. This way of expressing yourself is fucking hilarious, don't get me wrong. But it unifies people. So it makes complete sense why other poor areas throughout Britain adopted it.
I'm back out here in Colchester and I found this wannabe roadman.
What do you mean wannabe?
Bro, it's just a video,
Don't
bro.
know why this man's taking the piss, you know. I agree with him still. Like, Colchester's like Ballymorey out here, fam. A roadman at its core is an urban subculture that's heavily connected to London, deeply linked to things like grime, drill, and gang life. They exist in this endless state of horror.
Oh my god, nah. That is so hilarious, bro. You just walk into a freaking McDonald's and you see this. You see this right here. Like, damn. Okay, you know what? I F of it. You know what? Give me my fries. Give me my 10-piece chicken nugget.
Around public spaces like McDonald's, estates, bus stops, parks, train stations, and just random street corners.
Why does one guy just have a Spider-Man suit on? Hey, someone's LARPing! Someone's LARPing! Get this guy out of here! He only has a Spider-Man suit on!
Suddenly, these places became gathering points for groups of identical-looking people who all appear to have absolutely nowhere else to be. Yet, these are the same people who moan about having no opportunities in life. Go out there and grab the fucking bag, not a bag of plants, you dick. You could pull into a McDonald's at 8:30 in the evening because you fancy 20 nuggets and a McFlurry.
Very true. Dude, guys, Be honest with me. Do you like McFlurries or not? Because I absolutely love the absolute shit out of them, dude. I love McFlurries. I love them with Smarties in it. I love them with anything in it. Dude, it's just, I don't know why, but the ice cream that is the McFlurry is just so good to me. I don't know, it's just vanilla. But still, it's so goddamn good. I don't know how to explain it.
That you've accidentally entered Assassin's Creed 2. Groups of the mundane Montclair Mafia have gathered like self-service stations of drillings. You can have one person waffling loudly on a FaceTime call. Somebody else is discussing their latest dippings. 6 people standing around a singular electric bike with this aroma of ganj and dodgy Turkish bog polish.
Well, Niece or son is saying, dude.
Recognize it if someone started speaking like it. And you even had like Toronto attempting their own version of this because they seem to think our historical ties is something that they can continue to replicate in the current day.
Man, them are weird. There's bear buck teas there.
Who's my weird broski? But
Look at you. Yo, you're sick to my stomach, fam.
Piss off, mate.
No goddamn way they're trying to replicate it, dude. That is funny. That is genuinely funny, dude.
Yeah, but the dialect is something we'll get into later because the most important aspect of being on boot-ins is the uniform itself. Somehow thousands of people independently arrived at the same outfit. The North...
It's so... Okay, dude. This kind of jacket... Okay, I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. I do not like the material. I do not like the little ridges as if you're from freaking Minecraft, okay? It's like block for block for block. I just don't like it. I don't like it.
Face, the fake Canada Goose, the Montclair, it all became mandatory. Tech fleeces and grey tracksuits.
Oh my god!
The NS97s, the Hirachis, the man bags, they all became absolutely essential. The puffer jacket being the biggest one in particular.
No, the puffer jacket, I cannot get behind it. I'm sorry. I can't get behind the puffer jacket. I don't like it. It's just not that. I hate the material. I hate it.
Particular. I feel like it deserves its own investigation because roadmen wear them no matter what the weather. It could be 28 degrees in July and the puffer jacket would still be held tight. Britain could experience its...
Oh my god, dude. That thing is gonna be so sweaty afterwards, dude. Dude, with this weather, dude, it is insanely hot nowadays, especially in June, dude. Oh my god, I would die in a puffer jacket. I would actually just disintegrate in the sun.
Hottest recorded temperature, and you'd still see somebody walking around dressed like they're about to summit Ben Nevis and then just shank a goat when they get to the top. Meanwhile, everybody else is desperately trying not to melt into the pavement. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the story of the woman whose skin just fused with her couch. But the difference there is that she didn't have a choice, bless her.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I remember that story as well, dude. That was a crazy story, man.
Is it just something that you simply cannot remove? Nobody has successfully answered that question. Perhaps it's just sheer commitment. Maybe it's just so the mandem don't assume that he's lacking. I suppose that's why we got the tech fleece, to cool them down a little bit. For some in the summer, they go from the char-grilled Michelin man to a Power Ranger who lacks confidence in his own body.
I love it, dude. That's so much better. That is so much better than the puffer jacket, bro. I cannot explain to you how much better this is than the puffer jacket. Like, oh my god, please. Yes, this one is fine. This one's fine.
You know this symbol here in the middle of the jacket? It has various meanings. One of the biggest being spiritual awareness. Ironic because you're not aware that you look like a complete and utter pillock. Then we have the side pouch, the man bag, where they store their little toys, filled with a free 5, some black raws, and a note so someone can contact their mummy if it gets stolen. The roadmen guard that pouch like they're transporting what dig.
The white mask, please don't. Take it off right now. It's not working. It's not working for me. I'm sorry.
Dignity they have left. You've got this OG fella from the UK social media community called Josh Tate, otherwise known as Little T. A perfect example really of a person who's from an area that isn't London. He's from bloody a seaside town called Blackpool that's just very poor now because no one wants to fucking go to Blackpool. I follow him on Instagram, right? And you would genuinely struggle to find a post on his page where he's not showing his Gucci man bag. The bag becomes part of the identity.
No, I don't know. Why would he look so awkward? He looks like he doesn't want to be here. It looks so awkward. awkward.
And the accessories are more
Beautiful.
than just a man bag. You've got the balaclava being used more in recent years as a way of enforcing free speech and showing how much of a fucking nutcase they are. And here's where I get confused, because I assumed it actually made you less of a pussy if you showed your face. But these lads clearly know something that I don't.
Apparently.
To avoid crime, bruv. No face, no case, I lie.
Nah.
Oh, sorry, little man. Did you sell some plants on the road? You got a big old sword in your pocket, haven't you, you little medieval munter? You can have a life-size game of Kaplunka.
Little medieval manta is crazy, by the way.
Yeah? Then obviously you've got the night gloves that match the attire perfectly. What are they used for? Well, they're used to avoid fingerprints on the bladed article film. You can't really say the glove doesn't fit in this case because their mummy was there when they tried them on. The attire is all over the place, really, but it sticks to these core aspects.
It's like, it's like as if you as much clothing you can fit on your body to be completely unrecognizable as possible. And the bag. And the Louis Vuitton bag, just randomly in there.
So why are these clothings and accessories used then? Because a lot of the features, like the balaclava and the gloves, are used within criminal activity. However, most of the people wearing these balaclavas and gloves these days do not commit any form of criminal activity.
Probably
but
not,
want to look like they commit criminal activity. Because that's fucking cool. And then you do have the wannabe roadmen from the upper class areas with the designer Stone Island. The real Canada Goose. Designer trucker tire from head to toe, fam. You get me? The real roadmen who can't actually afford the real stuff unless they're high up in the crime food chain. So what do? They head to Antalya, pick up some garms from Bubba. Confidence is the biggest essential in this line of wanker, right? Delusion is...
This line of wanker is crazy, by the way.
Perhaps more accurate. This birthed things like the roadman stare. Fuck me, it's both devastating alongside being a truly fascinating phenomenon. They'll look at you like you personally ruined their entire day despite never actually meeting them before in your life. You could be carrying your Tesco meal deal, minding your own business, and suddenly...
Wait, I love the meal deal though. Yo, I was once in London and the meal deal was actually pretty goated. Like, I actually like that. I actually like the meal deal thing you guys have over there. It's pretty good.
Some 17-year-old in a tech fleece is glaring at you like you've stolen his dad's job seeker's allowance. Nobody knows why they do it. I'm sure they don't even know at this point. I think it's fairly similar to a lion in the savannah, isn't it? Almost like a defense mechanism of sorts.
It's probably a defense mechanism, yes. Just to like appear strong and like if you try to hurt them, they can hurt you instead, right? That kind of deal. And if you really liked the video up until now, make sure you follow me at twitch.tv/SevereArachne so I can come and touch you in my Twitch chat. But for now, let's get back to the video. That kind of deal.
Bus stops become their offices, park benches become the boardrooms, and the McDonald's becomes a 24-hour members club. Don't get me started on the Bossman shop. We all know about it. They can stand in one spot for 6 hours straight without ever appearing bored. If you ask them...
Dude, I hate that. I hate that. Legit. I was like usually... Okay, when I was younger, I was going to like a McDonald's all the time, like down the road or something. And then I always encountered this one like huge group of like teenage guys, and it was always so like they were straight in front of the McDonald's store, right? So you had to go right like either between them or right next to them, and they would always give you like that stare. They would always like look at you funny, and it's like, dude, you're blocking the goddamn door, man! Move! Move! Move, bitch! What are you doing here? Stop blocking the door!
What they're doing, they probably just simply reply, just chilling, fam. Which is
chilling,
code for
fam.
absolutely fuck all. Looking like a hardcore fucker is almost more important than actually being tough itself. Somebody looked at them for half a second too long. Well, bloody hell, the shank has been unsheathed from the trackies. Somebody accidentally brushed past their shoulder. We've got what looks like sharks circling the victim, clothed in full attire, riding electric mountain bikes, discussing between each other whether disrespect has occurred.
Dude, that's kind of scary though. That would scare me, low low-key, that would actually scare me.
It's genuinely impressive how quickly absolutely nothing can become a full-blown event. And while we're on the topic, these bloody electric motorcycles, eh? What a great modern invention that was. They have become the official chariot of the modern roadman. Man ain't got time for no peddling, I lie. They're simply flying down pavements at 40 miles an hour wearing a balaclava and enough black clothing to absorb a ray gun. All to drop off a free 5 of brick bud. Red lights have become optional at this point. You've got bastards doing wheelies through shopping centres. Pedestrians are now viewed as minor inconvenience rather than actual human beings. Unless they're obviously holding a phone, then they're seen as prey. Roadmen acting like bloody pigeons swooping down to steal a chip. Nobody has ever seen one inside unless they're filming themselves counting their nan's pension on Snapchat with her medication just spilled out on the living room table. And don't get me wrong, some of the imagery is definitely real and has ties to actual gang life. But what in the fuck are they thinking when they post some of that?
Okay. This is a funny freaking image, dude. What is bro doing? What is bro doing? He's about to get his cheeks clapped by the police right in front of him, bro.
Shit. Money spread on the table. Bit of ganj. Some bottles of imported cough syrup. I reckon people will see that, you know, and just, like, feel fear. How have we got to the point in society where posting that utter shit is looked up to and seen as a cool lifestyle? And the people who have made it out of the road either got on to being, like, social media stars or celebrities or musicians or just any well-paid job. You're still flexing on social media. Instead of flexing, you know, criminal activity, you're flexing poor financial decisions. So, not really much difference, is there? I remember back in the day posting pictures of me smoking spliffs, thinking I was hard as nails. But in reality, I was just a tosser. The only people looking
just a tosser, honestly. Yo, that's gonna be my, like, life motto, bro. Don't be a tosser, be somebody in life, you know?
To that shit, have very simple and shit lives. Maybe that's ignorant for me to say, considering I didn't grow up shanking and shotting, but I genuinely believe that everyone has the opportunity to better their life, man. Walking as a collective bunch of cocks down a bloody high street, JD Sports, local council estates, just random street corners. It doesn't matter if it's raining bloody sideways or absolutely Baltic. They'll still be there discussing the inner mind of an uninspired Mong, or maybe about the fact that you can't get real Stardog anymore. You know, the strains collided in that, the cannabinoids in that,
I wonder what that is, by the way. What actually is that green substance? Wait, is it, you know, is it the thing that you smoke? Is that what you mean? Is that what's going on?
Most importantly, Britain's best institution, known simply as Bossman Shop.
Bossman Shop.
We've done a whole video on it. Go check it out. Every roadman somehow has this diplomatic immunity inside their local premier. They walk in like bloody Keir Starmer entering a Fabian meeting. Bossman, let me get some blue ras crystal, fam.
Honestly, though, I'm always surprised because, like, over here, if somebody like this would enter in the shop, like, people would already start calling the police because of the, like, mask and all, right? I'm surprised that you guys don't have, like, are more, like, you know, that you guys aren't more scared of people like that because they could just rob you, right?
Black rules and a Maggie, please, boss. Lie. But then instead of leaving, they proceed to stand outside the shop for another 2 hours, just shooting the shit with the mandem. Because our government fucking hates us and doesn't do community centres anymore or any sort of clubs, the corner shops became a headquarters for British youth. And of course, one thing that's impossible to separate from Roadman.
I feel like that happens quite often in a lot of countries, right? Like, no community centres, nothing to do or nothing to hang out at when you're younger. Like, I have barely had any clubs or anything like that when I was younger, dude. We just hang out on the street, man. Fuck it.
And culture is music, because without things like grime and following later UK drill, modern roadmen probably wouldn't exist in the form that we know today. Oh god, what would we do? Grime arrived first and gave a voice to young people growing up in urban Britain. Then drill came along and cranked everything up for no fucking reason at all. I assume it's because of America's Chicago drill scene and how rapping about unaliving people suddenly became cool. For some artists in this scene, it was simply storytelling. A reflection of their surroundings and experiences, and some of it is actually really good stuff. I do quite enjoy it. Said in the most posh twat way possible, I know. Nowadays, in like the last few years or so, it hasn't been as popular because most of the buggers are probably locked up or, you know, gone on to do better things and are no longer part of...
Probably locked up. Yeah, probably locked up. Oh, yeah, definitely.
that life, or they're dead. And the postcode rivalry itself is just fucking stupid.
Oh.
We've somehow convinced teenagers that living 6 streets away constitutes as a foreign nation. This isn't war, mate. You're just bored. I mean, if you ever drove from the outside of London into the centre, it does feel like you've travelled all 7 continents at this point. But this is just mental. You can have 2 lads who both shop at the same Tesco and attend the same college, becoming lifelong enemies because one lives 20 minutes further down the road. Back in the day, you had medieval kings with more reasonable territorial disputes than most of these lot. Guys, we're not Americans. We're supposed to be the ones with more
Americans getting little shots in the back. Hey, I see you.
class. But our government's fucked us up, fam. Fair play, but we are literally just regressing day by day. And I'm not shitting on UK music at all. Like, the sound has just evolved and people have moved on, allowing for some seriously tapped in UK artists like JB and Jim Legacy, to name a few. Central C may not be as liked as he once was, but his legacy and global takeover cannot be ignored. However, what can be ignored is his clothing brand. You've got the raw turkey Twizzlers on the...
Oh my god, what is that? Yo, hey, okay. You know what? I have a big issue with these. I have a big issues with these shoelaces, dude. Why are they so chunky? Why are they so big and chunky, dude?
The laces. You've spilled Angel Delight down your top and shorts. What in the fuck were you thinking, Neil? But an important distinction to make is that not every roadman is involved in gangs. In fact, most definitely are not. I'm sure the ones that are actually in gangs and in that life of crime probably get offended by being called a roadman. So I apologise if I've merged the two here. Please don't hurt me. But some absolutely do become involved in the scene, which is why roadman culture has spent years being debated by politicians, police, and every bloke over the age of 50 who still prints out emails. While from a general public point of view, all we see is TikToks of them acting like proper bellends. And then comes what you've been waiting for. Perhaps the greatest contribution roadmen have ever given Britain. It's time for a little language lesson, I think.
Oh
folks.
god, oh
Fam
no.
used to mean friend, but now it's kind of like fallen off and turned into femme. And then it birthed things like, femme. I don't know, you're smoking a blend.
Not the speed picture, bro. Okay, I see you.
You could look over to your mate and give it the old, you're right, femme. It's never
you
really
right,
using
femme?
any serious dialect. Nowadays, you'd hear things like, hey, oh, that's my bro. Hey, that's my brethren. If he's really close to you, you'd be like, that's my killie still. Collectively, if you had all the lads around, you'd use something like mandem or the gaff. Not to be confused as a gaff referring to your house or crib, as they like to say. Groups of girls are the gyaldem.
Okay, that's kind of funny. Gyaldem.
Snotty children are utes. So, for example, you could say something like, yo, those pagans on that Yankee Island weren't a fan of the gyaldem, you know? Wasteman preferred chirps in their utes still. Anyway, so when you've got some random Donny saying that gyaldem is leng or peng, you pull out...
Peng! No!
the Rambo and start dipping him. I don't need to explain that, do I? The ends refers to their local area. Instead of something being funny, it's referred to as jokes. Motive essentially means an event that's happening later. You know, like the mandem's pulled up in a German to take you out for a motive. As a fat white guy from Norwich, I personally think that I'm smashing this, you know. Someone's called your mum clapped and all you can fathom is allow it. So that...
Allow it is crazy, by the way. Your mom being clapped is also insane, man. What do you mean allow it?
Essentially means that someone's called your mum a munter and you've simply said, oh, just leave it. Safe means okay,
just leave it.
Thanks and goodbye simultaneously because apparently one word now does the job of free. Kind of similar to how peak means both good and unfortunate depending on the tone. Then you have emergency phrases like, man's moving mad bait still. Come on, we got a cut, bro. Someone or something is acting suspicious. Perhaps we need to leave immediately or just point it out and carry on anyway.
Thank you so much for
understood. On road doesn't mean that he's walking down a dual carriageway. It essentially means that he's about that life. He's on...
Dude, these are so hilarious, man. Dude, I have no clue clue what the hell most of these mean, but honestly, they sound pretty goddamn funny.
Bootins. Man's moving mad. And then we
Man's
have the greatest
moving
mystery
mad.
of them all. The word man. Because nobody
Man.
knows who man actually is. Man's
Okay.
hungry.
Man's hungry.
tired. Man's just beat his meat still. Man could be you or the next man. Nobody knows. Yet we kind of do. Simple as that,
Okay.
really. Beginning of sentences start with, I can't lie.
I can't lie.
Mate, you're lying to yourself on a daily basis. And then you have people finishing every sentence with, you get me.
You get me,
Why do you need
mate.
reassurance after every sentence, lads? You've made it clear that your reassurance
Yeah, you get me,
comes in
mate.
the form of a bladed article. I guess it's fairly similar to people saying, like, you know what I mean?
You know
Just
what I
kinda
mean.
keeps the convo flowing for no apparent reason.
Yes.
And to be honest, I find myself doing it too. And that's probably the
I'm
funniest thing
doing
about
it too,
Roadman
to be
culture
fair.
altogether. We stole the slang. In some ways, we stole the fashion. We
Yes.
indulged in the music. Even people who clearly despise Roadman culture accidentally say safe or say less without even realizing it.
I definitely say less a lot in my day-to-day thingy, dude. I always say less or truth nuke. I don't know if this is like a common, like, it's just lingo, you know, that you use nowadays. I don't know. It's just lingo that you like 6'7" or some shit like that, bro. Something like that, right?
Which is why roadmen have become one of Britain's
Very true.
strangest social phenomena. I have a lot
Banger.
of friends who speak like a Hmong. They probably think that I speak like a Hmong. But truthfully, I fucking love them all. And I wouldn't
Yes.
change them for the world. Because at
Exactly.
this point, roadman life is becoming less of a subculture. They are just truly British at this point.
Yeah.
You know, the old heads are going to fucking hate that. But I don't give a shit. And in another 15 years, we'll probably invent something else entirely. Spend 10
True.
years mocking it. And then quietly absorb
True.
it into mainstream society once again.
That's
This
how it
video
usually
took an awfully
happens.
long time to make, so subscribe if you haven't already.
But yes, that's how it usually goes, right? Like, something just becomes a culture. Like, legit. Like, I don't know, TikTok, for example. Like, over there's a culture every single day. Literally. Made every single day, dude. It's just a cool thing after thing after thing after thing, and you can't stop it. You just can't stop it. So, why not embrace it, right? Why not embrace it and become funny, you know? Something like that. But yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was the UK Roadman experience. I will see you on the other screen. See you there. And that was the UK Roadman experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and put that bell on so you never miss another video. And I will notice if you miss another video. And I will grab you and I will pull you back into my basement if you do miss a video. I'm kidding. Obviously, I won't do that. But of course, thank you so much. And as always, make sure you check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/TobiaRockney if you want to get touched. But not only touched, but also caressed. And taken into my basement, as always. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope I see you over at my Twitch sooner or later. But as always, thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. You guys always support me. You guys always keep the lights on. You guys make it possible for me to make these 7 videos a week all the time. So thank you so much to Asadai, Kane Quinny, Yumio, Falloon, Tao Aku, Moket, Jackson, Lurker Samson, OnQuarter78, LEC, and Dare McMahon. Thank you guys so much, and if you want to support me on Patreon, make sure you check out my description. There's the Patreon in the thingy, and you just pledge whatever you see fit. And thank you guys so much for watching again. I will see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure to tell me in the comments if you actually did like this one. If you want me to cover more of those kind of themes, make sure you tell me in the comments. I will be there. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.